Welcome to a 25-minute spin pyramid workout. If you like workout videos like this from a certified personal trainer and exercise physiologist, then please like and subscribe to my channel at Danica B. Jammin, and let's get started. We have a 4-minute warm-up, is what it's called, on the spin bike. And I'm just gonna go over a few different handle positions. You can hold the handles on the inside, just kind of your standard down in front of your shoulders. You can also, for your wrists, rotate the hands out and hold the outside of the handlebars. So 3 positions there. And then of course, your last seated position would be coming down low over the handles. Always though, with the abs turned on, holding you like a corset so that you're not rounded over the handlebars, because that'll add to back strain and tightness through your shoulders and chest through your workout. So spin isn't just for legs, it's an ab workout. Keep your hips stable too. You don't want the hips rocking back and forth. So nice tall posture, and let's keep moving. At this point, your RPM should be between 90 and 100. And as far as tension on the bike, just enough to feel like you're on the road, working gently, just enough to start warming up the body. You can roll the shoulders back, stretch through the neck, the chest. Rolling the shoulders forward here. And then final stretch for rear shoulders. Staying stable through the hips here. And breathing. Get used to taking those nice, deep cleansing breaths as we ride. And then just going over, while we're warming up, a little more posture just from the side. So when you're at about a 90-degree angle, you want to make sure your knee drops directly over like your mid ball of your foot. You don't want the knees way over the toes. So make sure your seat's adjusted forward and back to the proper position. You also don't want to be pointing the toes or feel strain or hyperextension in the knee at the bottom of your drive. So make sure the feet are fairly flat. And then, of course, we've got our core turned on, our corset, for good posture. So pick your hand position. You can change them as much as you need to. And keep just a light hold on the handlebars. As far as resistance, again, we're just kind of lightly on the road at this point, but we're in control of the bike. And we have 1 more minute for our warm-up. Breathe deeply. Hopefully body temperature feels like it's gone up a little bit. Maybe you're breaking a little bit of a sweat. And make sure you've got water on board, a towel for sweat. And if you are indoors, you want to make sure that you've got an overhead fan or a portable fan for you so that you don't overheat. And get ready, we are going to start our pyramid, which is going to be seated for the first 4 minutes. So it's just going to be a slight change in resistance or gear. We're going to start that in about 10 seconds. So let's say right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're at like a 3 or 4. We're gonna turn the resistance up just a little so you feel like you're at a 4 or a 5. Basically, you're just really on the road now. Let's begin. But this is something you could maintain for half an hour. You can speak to your friends while you're doing this. But now the workout just feels like, okay, it's begun. No big deal. You guys are doing great. Remember to keep the core in, shoulders down the back, long neck, and light touch on the handlebars. Feet are flat, and I will remind you of that posture a million more times, because it's important to get the most out of your workout and to keep you safe so you can keep doing it in the future. All right, our first minute is almost up. So if right now you feel like you just got on the road, things are doing good, now you're going to turn your resistance up a little more so you feel like you're about a 5 or a 6. on a scale of perceived exertion. So the road maybe is a little rougher, but you should be able to maintain that 90 to 100 RPM. It's just a little harder now, but you could still maintain a conversation. Remember, give yourself some room to grow here. So you shouldn't be topping out and breathless at this point. This is still very doable. We're just digging in a little more. Shake the hands out if you need to, grab some water, and keep going. You're doing great. Jam out, whatever you gotta do. All right, we're gonna crank it up again in a few seconds here. Now we're going from a 5 or 6 to a level 6 or 7. So now it's definitely a little bit of a climb. It's gonna be harder to maintain that RPM. Maybe it drops to 80 to 90 RPM, and that's okay. It's definitely harder to push through. You can see where my legs have definitely engaged. You want the hips back in the saddle, feet flat. I know you're definitely working more through the glutes and hamstrings. Now it's getting uncomfortable. This is not something you'd want to be doing all day, and it would be harder to maintain conversation. Now when you do spin, you're not just pushing down through the pedals, you're also pulling up. So really think of your pedal stroke in 360 degrees so you get the most bang for your buck and you don't wear out individual muscles. Okay, 10 seconds, and we're gonna go up another notch to a true seated climb. It's gonna get very uncomfortable, heart rate's gonna go up, and let's begin. Head hips back in the saddle, pressing and pulling firmly. Glutes and hamstrings are really emphasized here in the seated climb. So now if someone were to try to hold a conversation with you, you'd only be able to speak a few words before needing to catch your breath, right? Fun? Yes. Grab water as often as you need to. Wipe away the sweat. Again, make sure you've got ventilation. Keep those feet flat as we work the glutes. You're evenly pushing and pulling. Corsets turned on, all that jazz. I said I'd say it a million times, and I wasn't lying. Always, always be checking on your posture and technique to get the most bang for your buck. All right, we've got more climbing. Are you excited? Now we're turning it up to a heavy seated climb. You can come over the handlebars if you need to. Perceived exertion here is now at about an 8. RPMs have gone down, maybe 70 to 80. And you can see where I'm really pushing through the pedal stroke. Hips are back. This is uncomfortable. You don't really want to be here for more than a minute or two. And you would not be having a conversation at this point. Feet flat, hips engaged, abs turned on. Keep pushing through. We're more than halfway there. Heart rate's rising. We're uncomfortable. You're not getting a break after this, so make sure you keep something in reserve. In 10 seconds, we're gonna be out of the saddle. So prepare yourself by putting your hands in a wider position or at the end of the handlebars. And let's come up to standing. Readjust if you need to, because the tension might feel too light now and you might be out of control. So turn it up so it can support your body weight at least. This isn't the heaviest standing climb we can do, but it's a good jog. You can see I've got enough tension on there where my weight is supported, but I'm not having to force the pedals down. And just about in equilibrium. Your perceived exertion here is a 7 or 8. For me, it's a relief to get out of the seat, so I'm a little more comfortable here. Breathing deeply. Getting ready for our second minute in standing climb. Get ready to increase the tension a little bit more so our standing climb becomes even more enjoyable. All right, go ahead and continue. I'm just gonna turn it up a quarter turn on my dial and bring my hands to the front of the handlebars, because now I'm really doing a true standing climb. That doesn't mean I'm putting all the weight in the handlebars or my hands. I'm just got a feather touch on there. My legs are doing the work. Even though I have a slight forward lean, abs are still turned on. We're breathing, uncomfortable, but you can do this. We're more than halfway there, and then we'll be doing a seated climb as we come down from this first pyramid. So prepare yourself mentally for a little more exertion before we take our 4-minute break. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Push through it, push through it. We're gonna sit in a second. All right, get ready, get ready. Don't touch that dial. Okay, maybe just a little so the pedals will still work. And let's go, 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 go. You wanna stay on top of the tension, if not just a little ahead of it. This is a heavy seated climb, so your RPMs are now sitting at about 60. Your perceived exertion is a 9 or a 10. Heart rate is going. We're breathing deeply. This is it. You are gonna get a 4-minute break after this. So come on, you're halfway through your final part of this pyramid number 1. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We're almost to the top. We're gonna get a great view from up there. You've gotta push through. It's uncomfortable, but that's where the change happens. Okay, 10 seconds. You're gonna be so proud of yourself. It's gonna feel so good to get that break. Come on, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and take that tension off. Oh my gosh. Take a deep breath. You have earned this 4-minute break. You can sit back if you need to. You can come out of the seat if you need a second for your bum. Grab some water. And really just spend this first minute kind of gathering yourself back together. You're doing awesome. And then as soon as you feel like you're in a little bit more of control over your breathing and heart rate, you can bring up the tension a little, just so you're on that smooth, flat road again. But this isn't something that's challenging. Perceived exertion here would be like a 2. You're gonna want this break. You have 3 more minutes left of it. You're halfway through the entire workout, guys. You're doing great. So we went up to the summit of the pyramid in the first half. Now we're gonna go down the other side by repeating that entire set, but in reverse. So savor your break, because you're gonna need it. I like these shorter workouts because, as you'll see in a bit when they come into the frame, I have kids, busy lifestyle, and these shorter workouts are great because I can squeeze them in while I watch like one episode of a show. Doesn't cut into my day a lot, but it burns a whole lot of calories. And it just makes me, more than anything, it just makes me feel accomplished, strong, happy, confident. And there's something intoxicating about getting your heart rate up for a while. All right, you got 2 minutes left in your break. I'm just turning up the tension on the flywheel a little bit because I just wanted to feel the road a bit more. But I'm still recovering. So let's make sure we've got our good form again. Hips back in the saddle. Your corset is activated. Feet are flat. And a light touch on the handles. Now, if you are new to spinning, you could simply do another 10 minutes of just a seated, flat ride, and that would be fine. But if you want to join me in another minute or so, we can do the other side of the pyramid. That's even as an instructor and someone who works out regularly, sometimes when I do other people's spin workouts, I can't do the whole thing in its entirety the first time. I need to work my way up to it. And sometimes it takes weeks or even months to really complete the workout the way it was designed. So if you're in that place right now, that's totally fine. Do what you can. Work at the perceived exertion level that suits you. Listen to your breathing and your heart rate, and just have fun. I want you to be successful with your personal best. Then we're just gonna switch views here real quick for the second half of the pyramid. I'm gonna face you. It just gives you a little different perspective if you wanna use me for reference. And we're going back into it. I lost track of time, sorry. Go ahead and turn up the tension here. And we're in a heavy seated climb. See how fast that recovery went? Too fast. So we went from perceived exertion 2 up to like an 8. And it's gonna suck, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. See how heavy that's feeling for me? I know the towel is blocking one of my legs, but you want both knees facing forward, ankles and toes. Back in the seat. And we're working down the other side of the pyramid. Try to make sure your hips aren't wobbling side to side a bunch, but they're pressed back into the seat and you're engaging from the glutes and hamstrings. We're gonna be up and standing next. Get ready for 3, 2, and stand. I've got to increase my tension a little bit. This is our heavy standing climb. I know it's hard to go from like a 2 to almost a 10, and it's supposed to be. So hang in there. Because these sets are long and pretty continuous. Oh, there's one of my kids. It's okay if you feel it's getting out of control. If you need to take the tension off for 30 seconds and take a sip of water, you can do that at any time. But anyway, back into it. We're deep into our climb. Working through your legs and a very light touch on the handlebars. Pretty stable here. You don't want to be rocking side to side excessively, but there's going to be a little bit of a rhythm in there. That's fine. Work, 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 work. Pushing through. This is really when, if you like putting the TV on or the music on while you're spinning, this is the time to have something really distracting or enjoyable on so you can push through. You've got this. We're almost done with our standing portion, which makes me sad because I hate seated climb. Which is why I'm making you do it with me so we can suffer together. Pushing through, but not leaning all our weight in the handles. Staying tall. You've got this. Come on. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, 10 seconds till we transition. It's gonna stay heavy and take a seat. Try not to change the resistance on the bike unless you absolutely cannot move those pedals. This is your heaviest seated climb and it's your last one. I'm adjusting my tension down just a little because I could barely push those pedals. RPM between like 55 and 65 here. You got this. Hips way back in the seat. Climb up that hill or climb down that hill because we're going down the pyramid, at least in order of exercises here. The worst is almost over. We're going to start dialing it down from here. So hang in there. Grab your water, wipe the sweat off your brow, take some deep breaths, and we're gonna start dialing it down, but just a little bit. Don't take the tension all the way off. We're coming down just a little. So if you're at perceived exertion 9 or 10 right now, you wanna go down to a 7 or an 8. So we're on a flat road, but it's kind of gritty. I would still describe this as uncomfortable. And at this point in your workout, if someone tried to talk to you, you'd get a few words out before needing to catch your breath. Feet are flat, and we're pushing and pulling evenly now. So the work is a lot more evenly distributed now that the tension is moderately heavy, not super heavy. Try to get your RPM back up there, maybe 80 to 90 if you can. That's gonna help keep your heart rate up. Yeah, it's feeling good. We get to turn it down a notch in a few more seconds. Come on. Get ready, and your perceived exertion is gonna go to about a 5. All right. It's still gonna be uncomfortable at this point though, because I know you really wanna take all the tension off and just recover, but you're not allowing yourself to, so it's a total mind game. At this point, you should definitely try to get the RPMs up back to 90 or 100. It's a flat road, but it doesn't feel good like it did in the beginning of the workout because we've really been taxing those muscles. So it's gonna feel a lot harder. But we're almost there. I get really goofy once I've really pushed myself in a workout. It's a coping mechanism. Okay, we've got one more notch down. It's not over. It isn't recovery yet. Your perceived exertion is still going to be like a 4 to 5, but this is the last minute of true work. Okay, let's adjust the bike. Nice job. You're still going on that flat road. Do you see how my RPM was able to increase a little bit? But it's not out of control. I'm not wiggling all over the bike. Abs are still stable. Adjust your body on the handlebars if you need to. I noticed here I didn't actually have enough tension on it, so I needed to drop the gear a little. Good, push, push, push. At this point, you should still be, I would say, pretty uncomfortable. I was clearly deeply uncomfortable here. At this point in the workout, my heart rate wasn't really gonna come down until cool down. And yours might not either. That's okay. We're almost done, you guys. Yes, here it is. 10 seconds and then we cool down. 10 seconds and then we cool down. So let's try to push to the finish line. Faster, 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 faster. 3, 2, 1, and done. Take that tension off. Fantastic, you guys. Oh, it was so good. So at this point, take at minimum a 4-minute cool down. I did not include a stretch component to this video, but I highly recommend stretching out your lower body after this, your calves, quads, glutes, hamstrings, and your chest, because you were kind of leaned over in sort of a crouched position for your shoulders and chest for a while. Try to keep your water down, please. You guys did so good. That was not easy. It was easy to write that workout, but it was not easy to execute it. Let me tell you. So I definitely feel your pain. And remember, it's okay to take more breaks throughout those long sets. If you need to, you can just keep revisiting this workout and maybe you do a little more each time. Maybe you're able to add a little more resistance or add in a true standing climb if you weren't able to this time. It's okay. Maybe, celebrate your hard work, have a little bit of an endorphin freak out. And that's the magic of working out at this vigorous, challenging level, is you feel really good when you're done. You can also get away with doing fewer minutes if you're a busy person by increasing the intensity of your workouts each week, by adding in 1 or 2 more vigorous sessions of, 15 to maybe 30 minutes each week. You can really improve health outcomes, and if you are looking to reach other goals related to body composition, that can help as well. I just came out of the seat for a second to give my butt a break. And then we've got 2 more minutes of our cool down here. So now we're just, hopefully the heart rate has come down by now. We got our breath back. Just feeling good. Ready to get out of that seat though. Ready for some food. Unless you're like me and you ate ramen right before you filmed this, like a crazy person. But I think I held it together. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below if you liked this spin workout, if I talk too much, not enough. Yeah, right. But seriously, because these are for you, and I want this to be something you can come back to again and again. So if I'm, super annoying, I want to know so I can modify things and make them better in the future. We have 1 last minute of cooldown, so remember to like and subscribe to this video. And also, I just really enjoyed spending this time with you. This is my passion, it is my profession, and it is absolutely my pleasure. I love giving these freebies to you, and stay tuned for my full program in the future, which will be available on Patreon. Taking a couple stretches here to open the chest back up after being over those handlebars for 20 minutes. Deep breath. And you gotta flex for the camera, a little dab, and we're just about done, guys. Take some more time if you need to cool down. Again, I highly recommend stretching afterwards. Shake out the hands and the wrists. And really just enjoy the rest of your day. Be sure to hydrate. You did such a good job. You should be so proud. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.